Welcome to my stream. Today I want to create this prop, this Viking Axe. I thought I create something different to characters. Not always characters, just but props as well. And what I often do is just starting with a plane for weapons. When I have my plane here, I reconstruct the subdivision levels until I feel like I have subdivisions I can work with. It's of course for every prop it's different. For every weapon it's different. What kind of resolution you use. And I think I will use Z modeler a lot. So if you are not familiar with Z modeler, then I really recommend to do a tutorial for it. I mean, to follow a tutorial. I'm not a tutorial creator right now, but maybe I will create some tutorials, some more tutorials for some tools. And I try to recreate this shape of the axe. And right now it's not, I'm not, I'm not watching too much to the topology. Right now it is a little bit messy here, but I will see. Uh, I delete some edges, so it's a bit, yeah, less of geometry to handle here. It's not a huge project. I think you should be able to create this prop in some hours, especially when you have a photo and not a drawing. I append a Q cube because it's better to use it. And a bit more geometry here. Hey, Mr. Nugger, would be easier to do it in DCC. What is DCC? I have no idea. Sure, you can use it, or you can use whatever program you want. Um, yes, you can use whatever you want. For example, Maya, 3ds Max, Blender. Of course, um, it's up to you what to use. I want I often use ZBrush even for props because I can refine the props immediately in ZBrush. I mean, when I want to sculpt, then I can sculpt right away in ZBrush and do not have to re-import the full thing. And I I am pretty familiar with the workflow in ZBrush, so but it's of course up to you. For example, this handle where you place your thumb here, you can of course use like modeling techniques. I would use here sculpting techniques to do this rounding here. That's why I do it in ZBrush. But it's of course up to you. What do you use? Extrude all polygons? Actually, it doesn't matter what you use for this. In the end, you will be using this prop anyway in a game engine, so um, you would need to retopo this anyway. But I just like this workflow here as well. So for those who are more working in ZBrush, you can of course use ZBrush for props modeling as well. This is the point here, what I want to show. The same question, why I'm using ZBrush for this. Actually, just because I want to. This is the first reason. And when I would use Blender, and someone would ask why you are using Blender and not Maya or whatever. Yeah, it's just because I want to use ZBrush, and just because I'm more free, or it's not the best way to do it. You can do it in programs you like. It's not like I'm showing you the best way. Let me save this. I'm not showing you the best way or whatever. I'm just using my way to do it. And on organic stuff like here on this handle, I want to use ZBrush because it's a little bit more free. I'm not used to sculpt in Blender or whatever. Yeah, and actually you can sculpt in ZBrush as well. Model in ZBrush as well. I'm just doing enough of these rope things here. So let me see how it works. I didn't use it for a long time. Sometimes people are not showing the best way, but just a way they enjoy to work. So don't worry when you think that there is a better way to do it, then you should use the better way. And it's just practice. I'm using Z modeler not often enough, so I want to practice some workflow. So just to remind myself where certain functions were. Like I'm searching for the. I can of course boolean just my circle here, but I want to model it. I can do it like this. Doesn't actually matter which way you do it. I think I will boolean it just here. just like this. You can use ZModeler or Boolean, whatever you want for this. Let me figure out how this. I never used this new gizmo. This one, let me figure out how it works. There is a lattice function, lattice box function. Like I said, it's practice for ZModeler and lattice boxes, and I never used this gizmo here, and I thought I should be using it more. This deformer here or whatever, I think, or this bending thing, bend arc. I used it once, I think, but I have no idea how it works. No, I'm not a huge fan of it. For stuff like this, I would go to Blender and do it there. Maybe I have to watch a tutorial or whatever for this function. I do it right now, the quick and dirty version. For a final piece, I would use more like or I would watch a tutorial. Anyway, this works as well because yeah, when you produce or when you tie a rope around it, then bend curve add point by dragging the yellow. Let me see. Yeah, bend curve and then dragging the The yellow cone. Ah, right. There it is. Yeah, cool. Like this, and then accept. And like this. Polygroups for sculpting, why they are necessary. Um, they are not really necessary, at least, or when you want to, um, let me finish this piece here. When you want to sculpt on a face and you want to mask quickly, then you need polygroups. But for sculpting itself, polygroups are not very important because polygroups are not changing your piece or whatever. So it's not necessary for sculpting, actually. I used the polyg mask to get this thing, or you can mask like this and bend it like inwards to hide this and thing here. And the same thing here. Or I want I need two other pieces down here because they are going into this hole. Yeah, I think sometimes ZBrush is a little bit overcomplicating things. Um, I love ZBrush, but it's not perfect because some things are more complicated than it's needed. But some things are, um, yeah, more optimized in ZBrush. So it's always a matter of, do you like working like this or not? It's up to you actually. And like I said, I'm not showing a perfect workflow here because it's actually not, but I'm practicing Z modeler, Z whatever, this bending tool here because I never use it actually. but sometimes you need it. Inflate this thing here to match the other. Like this. And it's going into this hole, and I will combine it. Maybe I will combine these or whatever. I don't know. Hide this and here. Right there. Like this. Yeah, you're welcome to my stream. I really seldom work on props. I should work on props more. And yeah, that's why I decided to create this Viking Axe. I mirror this thing over here. And this goes under here. Some kind like this. So it you should see it like at least these things should make sense. Just as an example, this doesn't make sense that this is mirrored. Well, because when you build stuff by hand, then mostly you do not have mirrored like perfect mirrored stuff like this. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, because it looks like CG or 3D. I would avoid for my game to look at I would avoid that it looks too much 3D built in 3D. Okay, and actually, like I said, it's pretty quick. Doesn't take a lot of time to create props like this. I like to use creasing on weapons or on axes or swords like this. I mean, I like the workflow with dynamic subdivisions. Of course, you have no control how much creasing you get, and you just have to watch when you click, when you're working with your pen, and sometimes you click not at the right spot. Some kind like this. And like I said, I want to create this like for the thumb. There is a like this curve. I can create it or I can sculpt it, and that's why I'm using ZBrush here. Yeah, creasing is yeah, on other software you can use creasing as well, of course. I create this edge here, and then with my trim dynamic I can carve, and I do not need any edge loops or whatever. That's why I use ZBrush here. I can work pretty freely on organic shapes like this. I need the reference at this side because I cannot see it here directly, but anyway, yeah, and I can decide on my own or on the fly how I want this curvature to be, and I don't need to worry about topology or whatever. Sometimes you have these poles, and to smooth them out a little bit more, you can when you smooth and release the shift button, then you can smooth these holes out a bit more like this. But sometimes it doesn't work for you, so you have to watch what kind of tools you need to create a believable piece. Like this, because I think Vikings, I don't know if they had like sandpaper or whatever. I think can be rough like this. And when you add some details like wood structure, then this stuff here is going away anyway. Yeah, maybe like this. And this, I actually do not know what this is. Maybe it's for better grip on the fingers. Let me finish this piece here first. Like this, and I think a axe gets always this piece up here. I don't know how it's called. I show you. I add another Q brush, Q cube. I mean, like, I don't know how it's called, this thing they put into the wood that it's holding the head of this axe. I need some references for this. Oh, actually, yeah, I saw maybe another. I saw like they are putting not um, like a ring there. It's called the eye. I don't know how it's called, but I see another axe on Google where they put a ring there. I think it looks pretty cool actually. Like this. I think it's I don't know if Vikings did this or more this yeah, this eye. Um, but actually I like this ring solution. Hey, welcome to my stream. Um, I'm pretty far ahead already with this piece. Let me see if this works like this. Like I said, you are pretty free when you are using sculpting. You're pretty free in yeah, from geometry work. So you can sculpt right away and use your sculpting knowledge to your advantage. And I think I need um, more resolution here. I know it's a little bit messy here. I go to my brushes, go to smooth, and smooth strong. And this is very handy for cleaning up high resolution meshes. Of course, on our final piece, you can use Substance Painter to create um, details like this. I would even prefer to use Substance Painter because when the client is saying like, oh, I do not like these details here, or I want to have one more, not three, but four, then you can add them in Substance Painter much easier than in ZBrush or in Blender. And when you are modeling these things in your geometry, then you will have a lot of pain um, to delete these from your model. That's why sculpting is not always for faces or organic characters, but for props, it works pretty good as well. I like it like this because and it's still a little bit messy here, but details like wood and color will cover up this a bit more. Of course, you can use like where is it? Polish by feature. I try this out. Or clay polish. Yeah, it cleans a little. Clay polish cleans this messiness a little bit more. Um, the pattern on the X here depends on if you want it to be like on your sculpted model. Then you have to have or you can use different techniques. You can create this in Photoshop and just put it as a projection here. Or when you are more into Substance Painter, then you can use this pattern here to map it in Substance Painter or in Blender or whatever modeling tool, or not modeling tool, but texturing tool you use. So actually, I would put it as a texture here on this plate, on this head here. Now the rope. There are many techniques for ropes in ZBrush. Actually, none of them are very good, but which I sometimes use as this Z-sphere. And of course, for these, when you tie the rope there, you have to model it by hand as well. So when you want to use like Blender for this, I mean, when you want to use curves for this, maybe it's a better choice to use curves for these things. But let me see if I can do it here. Like I said, of course, you can use just curves for this. I have still smooth strong activated. It's a bit too much. Mm, maybe there are too much um, uh, too much coverage. I just used this, the same I used here. and work smart and not hard. Prepare these, I don't know how they are called. Let me translate quickly. Yeah, these nodes when you're tying a rope. Um, when you create props a lot, then you can prepare you just for your projects as a brush, as a insert brush, and use them over and over. Make your life easier, and do not do it always. I mean by hand. Yeah, knots. Node is, I think, technical, right? Yeah. Sometimes I have to translate because sometimes some words are not. I mean, I still learn English. Yeah, like I said, when you work smart, not hard, then you do not do this by hand every time, but just do it one time and save it as a subtool or whatever, and reuse it over and over. Yeah, actually, English is not very hard, but of course like with other languages, you're missing a lot of vocabulary, vocabulary, and of course the how you express the words is of course different from language to language. I duplicate these things here, these knots, and rotate them so they are not looking similar to each other. And so this way you can reuse these objects over and over on your project. And then keep in mind that you avoid stuff like here. So it should be like, oh, this makes sense. This goes there, like this. So just just give a hint that there is some logic behind it. One advantage that you have when you use these primitives here is that you get you get a UV set with it, and you can use surface noise for this for detailing. And then when you are creating like some kind of final version with materiality, yeah, I would recommend to use surface noise for detailing. I use a folder for my Boolean operation here. A folder, and then I put both in one folder and go here and say Boolean with ds div, and I get my final piece here, like this. Use noise plugin and to get these like details on the rope. Let me see what works here. This could work, but I need to rotate the UV set for this. I hope it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. For this, I go to UV master, work on clone. This is my clone, I don't know. Let me see if this works. And I rotate. Like this, copy my UVs. And paste UVs here. Did it work? So yeah, this is something that I really do not, or that's actually bad about ZBrush, that you cannot manipulate the UVs very well. That's why, of course, you can go to Blender and manipulate them there. Let me try again. Now it worked. Mm. Yeah, like I said, for this purpose, you maybe want to go more into Blender. Let me start Blender and do it there. Yeah, so on ZBrush is not everything perfect, and many things are not working properly. This process can take some seconds. Here I have my piece, and now I can go into... No, actually, the rotation worked, but let me see. Actually, the rotation itself worked, but on the surface noise. The surface noise didn't work. I mean, I would expect that these lines are going more in a angle. Let me see if I can find it another. Of course, I didn't prepare this. It's just like trying out here. Unreal Engine for UVs. I don't think that you can unwrap um, like in like in in Blender or whatever. I don't I don't know actually. Let me try another one. Another. Yeah, it's not a technique or whatever, but uh, I try another alpha mask for this. I make it quick and dirty. I want just to see if this works. I know many of you will be like, oh my God, you could use, I don't know what, but I do just a quick and dirty version here. I know it's not perfect. Sometimes you have to figure out stuff. Okay, I expected that they are going more like diagonal on this piece. I'm confused here. Like I said, I'm not a huge props artist. I'm more like more used to create more organic faces and this stuff. I have to figure out what this is with the UVs, and maybe I will. It's not easy to be like recorded and work and to present a solution, and then when you're stuck in the process, then you are like, oh my God, there are people watching watching you working. and then you are like, oh, it doesn't work like you planned it. And but it's actually, like I always say, it's part of the process, and you do not have to have the solution immediately. When you do not do it often, then of course you need to figure out stuff. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I would create a displacement map for these details. I mean, in Photoshop, I would make it clean, and maybe I will create this piece for Patreon and post it there, finalize it and post it on Patreon, the final piece. And yeah, like always, I hope you enjoyed this stream, this quick piece here. I will finalize it for Patreon and post it there. So yeah, check it out. And when you want to support me, you are welcome to my Patreon and support me there. And next time I will create maybe another prop, maybe another was fun. Yeah, actually, like I said, sometimes things do not work, and yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, people are watching, and you're nervous because it doesn't work. I don't know what didn't work. Maybe the solution is pretty easy, but I didn't figure it out like immediately. And like I said, I'm not used to be recorded and work. So I'm not used to people watching me work. Yeah, I hope you yeah, you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it still and can yeah learn from this. Like I said, for organic pieces like this, I prefer to create it in ZBrush, and I thought when I go into ZBrush anyway, so I create it completely in ZBrush. Of course, you can use Blender, like you saw me using it for UV mapping. I use Blender a lot. I'm not hating on Blender anyway, on any yeah, like never. I love Blender, but I'm not using it for sculpting. Yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed, and please support me on Patreon, and you will see the final piece on Patreon maybe. Have a nice weekend, and until the next time, bye bye.